One elevator, one girl, and a video that broke the minds of millions. January 2013, Los Angeles, the Cecil Hotel. The exact time is unknown. The camera had no timestamp. But that night, Elisa Lam walked into an elevator she never walked out of. Not in the way you'd expect. Security footage captured a scene the police still can't explain. A girl talking to the walls, moving her hands like she's pushing something away, staring out from the corner of the elevator at something we can't see. The elevator doors stay open. They won't close, as if the building itself is protecting her. Then, she's gone. And 2 weeks later, her body was found inside the rooftop water tank, the same water the hotel guests had been drinking for 2 weeks. To understand Elisa Lam, you first have to understand the Cecil Hotel. This building was cursed from day one. 1924, Los Angeles. A luxury hotel built for wealthy travelers. But Skid Row, the poorest, most dangerous neighborhood in the city, was right next door. The hotel slowly fell from luxury to cheap, from cheap to something darker. First suicide, 1927, 3 years after opening. Next, 1931, then 1934. The list went on and on. But it wasn't just suicides. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, a serial killer who murdered 14 people, lived here. Room 14, ground floor. He walked through these halls every night. Jack Unterweger, another killer, stayed here too. The Cecil Hotel didn't attract ordinary people. It attracted those who wanted to die, or those who wanted to kill. Elisa Lam, which one was she? Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian girl from Vancouver, a student at the University of British Columbia. She loved books. She loved travel. She loved writing. She had a Tumblr, Nouvelle Nouveau, where she wrote about her life, about anxiety, about loneliness, about that feeling of being lost in the world. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a condition like two people living inside one body. One day, a peak. The next, a free fall. And sometimes, in mixed states, both at once. January 2013, she decided to travel to California alone, a solo trip, to breathe. San Diego, Santa Cruz, Los Angeles. Final stop, the Cecil Hotel. Her family says she was on medication. Police later confirmed the drug levels in her blood were abnormal. Not too low, not too high, just abnormal. Now we go back to that video. The LAPD released the footage 2 weeks after Elisa disappeared. They wanted help. They wanted tips. But what they released froze the entire world. Watch the film frame by frame. Elisa enters the elevator, presses the buttons, all of them, like she wants the doors to close. But they don't close. She waits 40 seconds, steps out, looks down the hallway, steps back in, steps out again, raises her hands, her fingers trembling, as if she's speaking to something invisible. Then she leaves, and the elevator, which had been waiting for 40 seconds, finally closes its doors.
You didn't come this far to stop here. Subscribe and go deeper with Obscura Mind.
3 theories exist. Theory 1, psychiatric. A mixed state in bipolar disorder can trigger psychosis, visual hallucinations, hearing voices, feeling followed. Maybe Elisa was seeing something we couldn't. Maybe those hand movements were a childlike behavior, a regressive pattern that emerges during severe psychiatric episodes. Theory 2, substances. Some argue her behavior resembles someone under the influence of dissociative drugs like ketamine or PCP. Slow movements, delayed reactions, complete detachment from reality. But toxicology found nothing significant. Or did it? Theory 3, never proven. Someone was there. Someone the camera couldn't see. And Elisa, with those terrified glances out of the elevator, could see them. February 1st, February 2nd, February 10th. Elisa was not found. Hotel guests were complaining. The water was dark. The water smelled strange. The pressure was low. Staff said they'd look into it. February 19th. A technician went up to the roof. 4 water tanks, usually locked. One of the hatches was open. He looked inside. Elisa Lamb's body was floating in the water, naked. Her clothes were beside her, submerged. No visible injuries on her body. But the questions were just beginning. The tank hatch locked from the outside, not the inside. The roof had a security system, an alarm, cameras. None of them were active that night. The ladder to the tank was smooth and slippery, nearly impossible to climb. So how did she get up there? The coroner ruled accidental drowning. Reason? Abnormal drug levels in her blood caused disorientation. The case was closed. But the internet didn't close. Reddit, YouTube, Tumblr, millions of people started digging, and everything they found only raised more questions. Issue 1. The video timeline. Police said the footage was slightly edited, time-lapsed, but when experts analyzed it, they said portions had been removed. How much? Unknown. Why? Never explained. An internet ritual called the elevator game, where you press buttons in a specific sequence to travel to another dimension, involved the exact same movements Elisa made in that footage. Coincidence? Maybe. Lamb Elisa. A strain of tuberculosis called LAD was spreading through that same neighborhood. The name of the diagnostic test? LAM-ELISA. The full name of the girl in the tank? Elisa Lamb. You decide whether that's a coincidence. I'm not here to tell you Elisa Lamb was murdered. Maybe she wasn't. But I want to say something that almost no one talks about. Elisa wrote on her Tumblr, "I always feel like there's a version of me that exists somewhere, free, that can breathe. But this version, the one that's here right now, is always trapped inside a box." A girl who always felt imprisoned was found in an elevator that wouldn't close, then inside a sealed water tank. The Cecil Hotel changed its name. It became Stay on Main, as if changing the name could erase the history. But some buildings have memory. Some hallways hold the echo of footsteps that no longer belong to the living. And that video, those 3 minutes and 59 seconds, is still on YouTube. Still being watched. Still unanswered. Elisa Lamb is not a closed case. She's a wound that never stopped bleeding. Every time you watch that video, that girl is standing in the corner of an elevator, staring at something you will never be able to see. Maybe what you can't see has always been there. Darkness always has a face. Sometimes it's the face of an old hotel. Sometimes it's the face of an illness no one took seriously. Sometimes it's the face of a system that closes the file because it's easier. Reality is never the full story. Obscura.